Hello and welcome back to Let's Go, and in today's video we're going to be seeing if it is possible to change over the brake cable from the left hand side to the right hand side. And the reason why we are doing this is because a subscriber reached out and said, I've actually got no fingers on my left, or minimal fingers on my left hand, and it's a bit tricky to brake. Can we do it on the right hand side? So in today's video we're going to be seeing if we can do that. Please stick around because you're going to be learning how to change over the throttle and also the actual brake itself, as well as diving into the dashboard. We're not going to go into too much depth with those, but you'll be able to see the process. I'll be doing those potentially in the future with a new video. So stick around and let's get started. Okay, I think the best point of action here is, because I've never done this before, I know how to take these bits off. It's just moving this over to here. The problem we're going to have is these bits here. So they're like rubber bits that stop the water getting into the dashboard there. So let's go ahead and start disassembling. What I want to probably do is release the tension on here by undoing the brake a little bit. Take the brake cable out so that I've got complete freedom up here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. Right, so there's the brake cable disassembled from there. To adjust the brake cables and things like that, you can check out my other videos. Next, what we want to do, I think, is pull off these. So these just slide off. So we're going to make sure that we just do this side, because if there's anything we can't do here to take that out, then I'm not going to waste time by taking this side off. Right, so to take these grips off, we're simply just going to twist them a little bit. Don't twist them too hard, because there's like a rubber sleeve bit that sits within the bar to stop it from twisting while you're out there right in. So we're just going to take it off. It is friction fitted. Perfect. That is now one off. If you have the older type of grip, there's actually a little cap on the end that holds it on, and you would simply just unscrew that and then pull it off. Okay, so there's like a little spacer here. So I'm going to take that off. I need an Allen key. And I believe it's going to be around 2.5 to 3 mil. So we'll try the 2.5 first. There we go. So it's 2.5 mil. Remember to take loads of photos to remember where everything goes. There we go. So I'm going to pop this in a little box and keep it safe. To take the bell off, we're simply just going to slide it off like so. Okay, now onto the brake cable. You're going to need, I believe, some little screwdrivers on this one, because there are some, so there's 2 Phillips heads on the bottom here, and this will then take out allow you to take off the sensor that's in there. This part we need to be extremely careful, because we do not want to be breaking any sensor wires. And there's 2 screws under here. And there's one. Right, so now I'm going to put in how to take the sensor wire out. And what I'm going to do is just get an Allen key out. This could be a 4.5 to 5 millimeter. Yeah, so it's a 5 millimeter under here, which is just going to take, like, slacken this off so that then I can move it around a bit easier. I do not want to break absolutely anything on this, because then it's a new brake wire. And there's your little sensor. Apparently it just slides off. It's interesting, there's like a little, I don't know if you can see it in there, there's actually a little magnet, I think. Yeah, so there's a little magnet there that basically makes this do stuff. Alright, so this is where it gets a bit tricky. So before I take this side off again, I want to make sure that I can get this off and then move, I essentially just want to move that cable over to this side so I can actually move this anywhere, I believe. This can stay there, the brake cable, essentially, the brake will just sit there. So what we can do, so we're going to take off these rubber grommets here. Be careful because they are in there tight and they're a bit of a pain to get out. There's one. Ideally you would have a really strong plastic tool to do this. I keep meaning to buy them. There we go. Perfect. So you have 4 Torx screws here to take out. Be extremely careful with these because they are in there very, very tight. That's what's holding the handlebars onto the scooter. When you're doing these, do not use any cheap bits. From experience, I've used a cheap bit and tried to like figure out what's going on in here, and it sheared off in there because it was that tight. So we're going to use a more sturdy piece, a more high quality tool to get this out. Here we go. So we have some T10 to T25s. It would actually be better if you bought a whole set, but this came with the drill that I bought. I'm not going to be using a drill with this. Mine's actually slackened off a bit from last time I played with this. But yeah, so you would want to use something that's going to give you a good amount of leverage, but without putting it at an angle. So let's see if that one fits. That one fits perfect. And that is a TH25 Torx head bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew just a little bit on each. No angling of the tool, nice and straight. So that one's a bit tight, so what we're going to do is I don't want to force it because I'm going to end up breaking the bit. We're going to use a ratchet with a bit that converts the big part into a little bit. So I don't know what these are called, just let me know down in the comments if you know. And then we're going to put the Torx head bit in there and make sure that it's on the right setting. And then we're just going to go in, make sure that it is straight. And we're just going to gently, very gently pry it until it starts moving. As you can see, that last screwdriver did not want to make that move. This is on very tight. There's a rubber seal in here, and that compresses so much that it keeps so much tension on those bolts. And that's what makes it as good at waterproofing as it can possibly be. So we're going to do the same down here, just nice and gentle. Okay, now they're all cracked off. I do not want to use this any further. I'm going to go back to the screwdriver where I have a bit more control to take out the rest. So be careful, once all these are off, this is going to come off and this is going to be loose, as it is a bit loose now. The wires from here and here, from the brake sensor and also the throttle, go into the dashboard. You do not want that to drop. There is the screw. You want to make sure you've got thread locker to put these back on later. There we go. So that's going to just sit in there nicely for the moment. So all 4 screws, I'm going to put the other one back in there in just a second. And as you can see, there is a rubber seal here, and that compresses. It's a really nice little gasket.